Well, great day, everybody. This is Phil Hahn here, and wishing everybody an amazing start to 2025. And I have the privilege and pleasure of having Daren Gull join us here. Daren recently partnered with us at eXp Realty. He is a absolute legend in the Canadian real estate space, was instrumental in launching two Sotheby offices in Calgary, is the founder of Luxury Inn Calgary, as well as a decorated decathlete, was the BC provincial champion in the decathlon and made it to the national team in grade 12, and also held the indoor champ record in heptathlon in Canada for close to 20 years. So, Daren, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you. And yeah, tell us about yourself, man, and your journey. Like, this is awesome.
Oh wow, Phil, thank you so much. That's quite the introduction, man. Yeah, I guess all that quite a few years ago, but I did. Yeah, it parlayed well into real estate after being an athlete. I found so yeah, Phil, I'm in my about my 19th year now, heading into my 19th year selling real estate, and I'm kind of in between. I have my license both in BC and in Alberta now. And yeah, I'm still focusing a lot on the luxury real estate market, but I've also really dipped my feet in over the last 5 years into the commercial market as well. And yeah, I'm loving it. I've been looking forward to joining up with EXP for some time now, and I was very lucky and honored to meet you and get to know who you are, and then learn all about the company. And I just really excited about the future.
That's awesome. Well, it's such a pleasure to be in business with you, Daren. I know our relationship started a few years ago when you were part of the team that basically brought Real Broker to Western Canada and was, instrumental in its growth. I mean, everybody was talking to me. They'd say, "Oh yeah, Daren Gull. I was talking to Daren Gull at Real Broker, and Daren Gull this at Real Broker, and Daren Gull that at Real Broker." And so, you
Yeah.
definitely came on my radar then. And of course, I knew you as an established luxury agent in Calgary, having been involved in launching Sotheby's, the two offices there. So, what was it, Daren, that took you from being in that luxury space, and again, the founder of Luxury in Calgary, and to, making that shift from a model like Sotheby's and Redline, and to going into that, cloud brokerage space? Because I think you were definitely an early adopter and you
Yeah.
saw the writing on the wall. And so what kind of prompted that, Daren?
Well, it was something I'd been looking at for a while, and my partners too are looking at. We were actually originally looking at EXP. In hindsight, we really loved EXP. A couple of our friends went to EXP and were very successful. And I've known about you there for a long time too, Phil. So I heard your name a lot as well. But anyways, we looked at the option of EXP, and there we had about 80 agents at the time. And I guess our CEO, basically of our company, was approached by Real Broker when they were just like brand new and just coming out onto the scene. And it was a decision that the company got bought out basically by Real Broker, and just to launch the company. And so it was not like we were given the choice between the two, but it just so happened it was a new company and we had a lot of newer agents, and we went that direction. And then, but for me, I always felt like, even though it was a great experience, and it was a startup company, I always kind of felt like I wanted to work with other agents who had a lot of experience, and were be a part of really like the international, like, biggest company in the world, was something that was really exciting for me. So for me, after a couple of years, it was a no-brainer. When after I met you, I was just like, I was just kind of chomping at the bit to come and join EXP, because I've been thinking about it for a long time, and
That's
there's
right.
no
And it
other
was a
mod.
long courtship, buddy, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't, I mean, you were entrenched with Real Broker.
Yeah, I know.
It
Yeah,
was a
I
long
knew the first
courtship
time.
for
I knew
sure.
the first time I met you, though. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is the guy I'm gonna do it with, and I'll never go back. There's no other model that I think has better benefits for agents. Like, not just from the side of all the different revenue opportunities, but just the tools and just the networking, the collaboration. And I mean, when you say you're with EXP, there's a there's a sense of pride that goes with it. You're like, you can literally say, we're the most tech forward brokerage in the world, like the largest market cap. This is where all the pros are. You can say you have some of the best agents in the whole world. There's a lot to be said about being a part of that. I mean, it's going to do nothing but help you in listening presentations, do nothing but help you in your career. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it big time. Well,
It's
we're
awesome.
just getting started, and I'm already like loving it. So
Buddy, we are so excited. Your energy is and attitude is contagious. You always have a smile on your face, and no matter what's going on, you're positive, which is great. So, let's talk about that. I mean, you've got this amazing athletic background that you downplay. I mean, you got to practically pry it out of you. But being on the decathlon team in grade 12, holding
yeah.
a record for indoor heptathlon for 20 years in Canada, like that, these are huge accomplishments. How has that athletic background helped you in your business life, in your personal life? Like, how does that help you throughout your journey and as you mature moving forward?
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I appreciate what you're saying. I guess you're prying it out of me and stuff just because it's over 20 years ago now for me, so it does seem like lots of great memories, that's for sure. But it just seems like a long time ago, and I'm not in that kind of shape anymore. But no, the question is really good because what I learned while doing that was anything big in life takes a lot of commitment, takes dedication, takes a lot of sacrifices, and I remember how much it took to get kind of where I wanted to in sports, and then I've applied that in many ways to my career since I started in real estate, and just it's a grind, it's a hustle, it's better work the plan, don't let the plan work you. Maintain a balance, but sometimes it's just, I'm not the kind of realtor who believes like you don't have your cell phone on you at all times, or that you're not always trying to constantly improve, or that, there's that, mediocrity is okay. I just still have that drive from sports to be competitive and want to like, do whatever I can to be the best. And
That's awesome.
it's not about like always winning or being the best, but just having that drive. And I think I got all that from being an athlete back in the day.
And you don't always win,
No,
right? You know,
no,
you don't always win. And I find that the difference between, a high level athlete or business person or anyone playing the game of life at high levels, it's how
yeah.
they deal with failure. And they understand that failure is not an identity, but a necessary event in pursuit of the actualization of our dreams, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And we have to
Yeah.
welcome it.
And
We
I
have to
remember when
welcome.
I first started to learn how to pole vault, and I grew up in a small town in British Columbia. And so we started pole vaulting like in the gymnasium. So talk about failure, talk about learning the hard way, crashing out on the gym floor, like pole vaulting onto high jump mats, and like it took my
How high
bruise.
was the ceiling, buddy? How high was the ceiling? Yeah.
Well, gymnasium ceiling. We got
Okay.
pretty good in the gym, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is, it takes a lot of failures in order to get, that point of success. And, there's a lot of bumps along the way. Another thing, Phil, is I later on, like after I was kind of transitioning out of athlete, I've spent a lot of time coaching. So coaching with high school programs mostly. And then whenever I come home, I do like workshops for some of the high school kids, and I stayed active in the sport. And I think that it kind of translates now to where I'm at in my career, where I really wanted to have that chance to coach and mentor and help other agents succeed. Kind of like I just really enjoyed coaching. And that's one thing that EXP has, this huge opportunity for me, is that this like global reach and this like opportunity to build a community and to build like a network and a team of people who, I'm going to really get a kick out of that, because there's no other company, I don't think, that really offers this, like nowhere near the level and the size of that opportunity. So I hope I can be as good of a coach as I can, be a realtor.
That's awesome. Now, what are some what are some highlights of some of the coaches that have, dripped into your life, and some of the experiences and messages that you've had them in business that have kind of resonated, or some mantras that you've kind of learned or run with from those
Yeah.
experiences?
Yeah. Well, my high school coach, he ended up, we were really close, and then after I graduated and went to university, he ended up getting a job. He got sent over, or he took a position with the actual royal family from Bahrain, and he moved there and started their Olympic training program for their athletes. And I became a friend with one of the princes at UFC who was training at the center there,
Okay.
and and he didn't really speak much English, didn't know too many people, so we became good buddies. And that translated along, and eventually it ended up like working into my coach's career, which was really neat how he got hired to do that. He was a very influential guy, level five coach coming from a small town. He ended up winning, like, he was Olympic coach, Commonwealth Games coach, and Hall of Fame winner in BC, and just overall great guy. In real estate, I've had some awesome, like, I guess I'm always learning in this business, and I try to keep up as much as I can on everything, but I've had some pretty major inspirations, I guess, along the way. But there be, I really, I caught I get a lot of value from like the Ferry Group and what they do. Is that some of that stuff's really, really neat, how their marketing works. And then I guess there's been quite a few of these, like some of the social media guys these days. You can glean a lot of like really great stuff from what they do. And not to toot your horn, but I do watch a lot of the work you've been do. I watch a lot of the work you do, and I know about your career and everything. So I imagine you're going to be one of those guys for me too. I'm gonna be
That's
able to
awesome.
learn a lot from. Yeah,
Well, we're just so happy to be in business with you. You know, it's an interesting observation. I was thinking about this yesterday that the four or five latest, newest real estate companies to come to market in the world over the last few years, none of them are legacy bricks and mortar style anymore. Everything is
yeah,
imitating us, right? First starter and
yeah,
AXP. So it's interesting how that has totally shifted. And
yeah,
I'll never forget this. I was in Monaco in spring of 2023, and I'm sitting there in the
yeah,
hot tub overlooking the ocean or the Mediterranean.
yeah,
And my friend and business partner, Glenn Sanford, founder of EXP Realty and World Holdings, we were doing our Q4 financials announcement and our year end announcement for 2022. And I think he really nailed it when he said that, the legacy brokerage models are just dinosaurs teaching other dinosaurs how to be better dinosaurs, right? And I think that's kind of it's a really shifted business environment and climate. And then, we just onboarded a really, really big agent from a legacy model, and that was massively successful. And I said to him, I said, well, why were you closed to us? Like, why weren't you listening? And he said, well, because my broker was literally, telling us how bad you guys were, and not even to look at it. It's just so bad, and you guys are never going to last, and that, and
yeah,
I thought that was interesting, right? Like that they're listening to the broker who has a vested interest in not them leaving,
yeah,
by poop talking, the disruptors, right? So I think it's like, what are your thoughts on this climate, man? Like you opened
yeah,
one of these offices in Calgary, and being the
yeah.
founder of luxury in Calgary, like what are your thoughts of what's happening in the industry?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think we're going back anymore. I think EXP actually was such a pioneer in the industry that just there was so much success, and it empowered agents so much that, I mean, it's not just real, but there's like, there's all these ones popping up like Epic and Fathom, and you name it. There's going to be more and more. There's a bunch of them coming on. And that says a lot about EXP's model, and a lot about EXP in general, that so many people are going along that way. But I think it's actually started a tidal wave that's the future. I think it's something like there's been 20,000 agents like, change brokerages in the past 6 months, and I think a lot of that's all been, just from people just switching over to this model. And I just don't see it. I don't think Remax and those companies are going away anytime soon, but I do notice that they are changing. All the legacy models, like, or the companies that have been around for a long time, they're starting to shift their gears towards like lower fees, more maybe not as much revenue share based, just because it's hard to change that model when you're franchising. But this model of having centralized cost-effective management where you kind of have a central hub and you can scale out a company and offer these incredible deals to agents. And then they also have all these opportunities and still get this, like, you get way more for what you pay for, and you get far more reach and far more opportunity. So I can only see this model just like, staying or sticking around. I mean, who knows, Phil, somebody might like one day come along and have like a different model, but it's going to be, I just can't see it happening for a long time. I see the trend is going to be that agents are going to more and more, like, it's going to be in the next 5 years. I think the landscape's going to be totally different, where this will be the standardized model. Being the first person doesn't mean you're going to be the dinosaur, because just being first to market means you have the most opportunity to learn from other, you might get some newcomers come up that have some good ideas, and you can just, we can always be competitive, because I think EXP is going to be the biggest and going to have like the most productive agents, and is going to have the most seasoned leadership, and just had a big head start. But yeah, it's the future, man. I don't know what's next, but it's going to be hard to imagine. It's almost like, thinking about us all flying around in flying cars in the next 5 or 6 years. That's how
Who
much
knows where it's going, buddy? Flying to Mars, right?
I see him already. But you know how like 10 years ago that was kind of like could happen, right? So that's where we are in real estate now. Like, digital, third world, or not third world, but like, digital universities, and you can do all your deals on your phone, and it's just the whole industry's made better by what EXP did. So
yeah, no, it's amazing, buddy.
yeah.
I love your energy. I love your energy, and
Thanks, man. You too.
yeah, no, you definitely bring it. And tell me about how you deal with setbacks, and how how your athleticism and your massive success in business, how you deal with the setbacks, because we all have them, right? And I think you're obviously extremely resilient, and I commend you for that. But how does that, how do you deal with that?
That's a really good question, Phil. I guess I learned over the years, I guess, there's a few things that I really make big differences. So without sounding cliche, I really get a lot from yoga. Got into that a long time ago. It's very peaceful. It's very grounding and peaceful kind of activity, I find. Meditation's good. I think like just overall having a positive attitude can get you through a lot. Wake up every day feeling, writing down, or at least, contemplating what you're grateful for, and being in that state of gratefulness. You just, you know, in time, even if you go through something really terrible, in time, just being grateful every day for what you have in life, and who you love, and what friends are in your life, that can change the whole paradigm of everything for anybody. And that's the most healing thing you can do, is work from a place of gratitude, and not dwell too many things on all the things that you've like hurt you or you lost or whatever. So that's a lot of it, man. Just trying to stay positive, try to laugh a lot, try to enjoy life as much as possible, have a lot of gratitude, and that's gonna get you through, man.
Yeah, love it, love it. I setbacks are tough, right? And
Oh yeah.
show me a big success and I'll show you a bigger failure, because you
Yeah,
fail. That's right. We get rewarded in public for what we practice in private.
that's
And
true.
I think you really nailed it talking about attitude, because your attitude is really one of the only things you can control, right?
Yeah.
And also surrounding yourself with, people that are applauding your success and wanting you to win. Be very wary and cognizant of those that aren't applauding when you're winning around you, and sometimes
Yeah.
our friends and family can be, I always say, love your family, choose your friends, right? Because it's so important to be around people that want you to win at the highest level, right? And
Totally.
that are applauding your success, right? So,
Yeah, that's one of your greatest strengths, Phil. Just like friend to friend.
yeah,
You're
buddy.
amazing at that. Oh yeah, you're one of those guys. You feel like I got Phil in my corner. That gives you a whole lot. That gives you a whole boost, big time
Well, I like to
boost
show
every
up. I
day.
like to show, I like to show up, and I've had people
Yeah,
show up for me in my life at times when I was very vulnerable, very down. And so I think it's important to pay it forward, right? And to genuinely care about people's success, and want them to
yeah,
win
that's awesome, man.
friggin' highest level. So
I respect
Daren,
it.
we are so blessed to be in business with you. We're just getting started. We've kept this pretty low key, but now
Oh,
we're
I'm so stoked, man. I'm
gonna
ready.
be
Let's
hanging from
shout
the
this thing out.
rafters. We're going to be hanging from the rafters with your amazing track record. So amazing that your colleague and friend from Utah, Spring, just partnered with EXP yesterday. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know. I wrote her messages and sent her all the kudos. It's so exciting. I love the way she comes out with it, right out on New York. She's, she's in New York or in Times Square. Spring, I was lucky enough to be in a few meetings with her and be, I guess, not exposed to her, who she is. Like, she's wild, man. She's amazing. She's going to be huge, and it just that actually got me so pumped up when you sent me that, and to see her post come out, and I was like, wow. Yeah, I felt even more. I'm like, this definitely made the right decision here, because
yeah,
that's the kind of people I like to be around. So yeah, Spring,
you
she's
know.
great. She's gonna be great for the company.
So, Darren, how can people reach out to you? What's your number? What are your digits? Best number for people to contact you if they have any questions or they want some mentorship or just to pick your
Sounds
brain
good.
about the
Okay, so
journey?
yeah, sounds good. So I got one number, okay? So I have this number for a long time. So it's 587-433-7355. It's an Alberta number. So I do catch a little flack from it in BC, but I have my license. I'm working in right across the province in BC, so on the island a lot. I'm working on commercial deals in Vancouver. I'm in the Northwest BC right now, expanding out, trying to expand out the EXP agent base here. But I'm also in Calgary. I'm going to be in between the two. If I have to fly, drive, whatever it takes, that's kind of
Yeah.
what I'm doing. BC is my home province, and I've been here for a few years, but like still working hard in Calgary as well. So yeah, so I just got that one phone number, or anyone can just drop me an email at DarenGull@gmail, if personal email, and we'll see what I can do.
Awesome, buddy. Well, listen, thanks for hopping on. Congratulations on your amazing success, and we are looking forward to crushing it with you in the future and now.
Yeah, same here, Phil. I couldn't be happier. Thanks a lot, man.
Take care, buddy. Okay, bye.
You too. Cheers.